I was hunting with a friend this past weekend, and he's been pretty down on his season so far. He's only seen two, maybe three deer all year, and he hasn't even filled a tag in, I think, three. As we were walking back to the truck, he turns to me and says, "Man, I suck at hunting." Now, I tried to reassure him. I tried to say that, all hunters go through dry spells every once in a while, and I even use that stupid old cliche, that's why they call it hunting. But it didn't lift his spirits, and I can't blame him. When you don't have success, it's hard not to think about that. It's hard not to question your abilities as a hunter. He was pretty quiet on the way home, which is understandable given his mood. But my mind started to wander. I started to wonder what things make somebody a bad hunter. What are some things that pretty much guarantee you're not going to fill a tag and possibly not even see a single deer? Now, there are so many ways you can ruin a single hunt, and we won't get into all those in this video, but there are also some things that are more habits. They're mistakes you're making that could cost you an entire season or multiple seasons. They also take a lot more time, a lot more conscious effort to correct. So, your first clue that you suck at hunting is you're hunting where there are no deer. Now, I know that sounds extremely obvious. If there are no deer in the area you're hunting at, you obviously suck at finding the good spots, but there's a little more to it than that. Now, there are a couple sides to this very, very common mistake, and some of it can be attributed to just plain laziness. A lot of you public land hunters will know what I'm getting at with this, and how many people are hunting within the first 100 or 200 yards from where you park? You want to avoid those people. You also want to get there before them. If you can go 400, 500 yards, take that extra effort to go back in there farther to these more secluded spots and let those lazy guys push all the deer toward you. Another aspect to the laziness is you don't take enough time to do any real scouting. You might take a quick stroll, a week before hunting season and see just a spot that looks decent and throw up a stand and think you're gonna, tag out. And you might get lucky, but chances are you're not really gonna see a whole lot. The second after this mistake is just simply not knowing what to look for when you're scouting. To fix this issue, you need to commit yourself to a lifetime of learning all you can about deer habitat and behavior. You need to know what good deer bedding looks like and what certain terrain features deer most likely use to travel around. And there are so many resources out there. You just simply need to Google it for the most part. You can't really blame the deer or the land for not seeing deer at all. You can only blame yourself for not knowing where to set up. Now, the second reason you suck at hunting is you have zero patience. Today's world is fast-paced. We want everything right now, if not sooner. Get abs in 5 minutes, have dinner ready in 2 minutes, and apparently have a big buck in front of us within a half an hour of sitting down in our stands. I kind of blame these hunting shows for this unreal expectation about how much time it takes to tag one of these big deer. I can't even count how many times you'll see on TV that some TV host tags some big mature deer, and after his Oscar-worthy performance and all his thousands of sponsors that made the whole thing possible, that they always say, "Man, we just sat down. I feel like we just got set up, and he stepped right on out." Most of us know that that's not real life. What they don't show you is the many, many hunts where they probably didn't even see a single deer, or all the time and effort they spent planting these food plots and doing all their scouting and hanging their stands. They just don't show that. That doesn't make for great TV, apparently. But that's why I like these YouTube hunting shows. They show real life hunting situations, all the ups and downs of the season, and it does a good job of tampering your expectations of what real hunting is like. It's none of this, 10-acre luscious green food plots and, an endless parade of massive bucks that walk out. What I'm trying to get at with my mindless rambling is that patience is very, very important for having a successful hunt or a successful season. If you find yourself getting stir crazy, do whatever you need to do to stay in your seat. I recently did a video about pulling off an all-day sit, and it's got some great tips on how to stay in your stand. The third reason you suck at hunting is you only hunt one spot. This is something that I'm definitely guilty of. We all have a favorite stand, and more often than not, we find ourselves there hunt after hunt, even if we don't have anything to show for it. Hunting the same stand can burn it out and can prevent you from checking out some new, more productive spots. This not only goes for overhunting the same stand, but overhunting the same area. If you only hunt over major food sources, and chances are you're missing out on a lot of deer. You may find that the trails between bedding and those food sources would be a lot more productive. A lot of times those deer don't even make it out into those food plots till well after dark, so you need to move a little more into the trails that they're going to be on before they get there. The fourth reason you suck at hunting is your entry and exit routes are terrible. This is an extremely important detail that many hunters just ignore. The point is to sneak in and out of your stands without the deer ever knowing that you're there. If you're bumping deer walking to and from your stand, you'll never see them during your hunt. Your path should keep you hidden, should be as quiet as it could possibly be, and you need to be conscious of where your scent is blowing as you're walking in. If your scent is moving the direction you're walking, they know you're coming before you even get anywhere in sight. Also, don't slam your door, don't throw all your gear around while you're getting ready, making all kinds of noise, and pick up your damn feet when you're walking, Brian. The last reason that you suck at hunting, I think, is one of the easiest ones to fix, and that is you listen to bad advice. Now, not everything you read or hear is true. There is a lot of misinformation out there, and that's not limited to the hunting industry. One of the good things about the internet is you can have all this information at your fingertips. You just got to look for it, right? Well, you can also find a lot of crap out there. You need to take all information with a grain of salt and consider the sources. Not everybody has your best interests in mind, and more often than not, somebody's just trying to sell you something. With all the advertisements we're bombarded with everywhere, this is not news to anyone. Just whenever you read an article, take a quick look at the bottom, see who wrote it and who they're affiliated with. That should give you a good idea of whether or not you can trust the information. Your major players like QDMA and your state conservation, you can trust their information. Just always be aware of who wrote it and who they work for, and it can help you weed out some of the crap. So those are just some possible reasons that you suck at hunting. Luckily, these are all things that can be fixed, so you're not a lost cause. Like I said earlier, you need to commit to learning as much as you can. The more you know, the better you get. Consider becoming a member of QDMA or subscribe to some of the magazines to soak up some of this information and read a few books. There's a lot of good information in books about habitat and all that. So, just give them a shot. If you're having bad luck, you might as well try something. Just don't give up hunting just because you're not having any success. Also, consider subscribing. All of my videos are this short format where I give quick tips on specific topics. So it's easy for you to just find what you're looking for. You don't have to sift through a bunch of other stuff you're not interested in when all you're looking for is reasons why you might be bad at hunting or beginner calls and stuff like that. So consider subscribing and hit that like button if you like what I'm trying to do. And as always, outdoor ladies and gentlemen, stay informed.